Hello there, everyone, and welcome to Thursday's live stream for the Wilds of Eldraine format. Hello, Golden Toad in chat. We are currently Diamond 1, and today is going to be the day that we're going to cross over into Mythic. Ideally. In an ideal world, that's what we are going for today. Unfortunately, the Premier Draft queue is still non-existent on Arena, as they are experiencing difficulties. So we get to draft a quick draft today. But you know what? A draft is a draft is a draft. So you can't be too upset with that, can you? It's also cheaper. And is quicker. Hence the name Quick Draft. So it goes by a little quicker. But this is what we'll be doing today. Quick Draft, Wilds of Eldraine. Once again, pushing towards Mythic in Limited for the Wilds of Eldraine set. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to potentially wait for a couple more people to straggle in now that they know the live stream has started, and then we will get going with a quick draft. I think that everything's working. Haven't drafted the format, Golden Toad. It's been interesting for us. I think it's pretty good. It's very balanced. Blue-white is the only deck you should actively not draft at all. It's effectively unplayable. The whole tapping creatures down thing does not work. And blue-green, I've actually had quite a bit of success with, but it is the second worst performing deck right now. So just take note of that. But I have had some pretty good success with it. Blue-red is not exactly working out, but basically every other deck I'm pretty happy to end up in. The format is quite balanced. I haven't kept track of the exact amount of trophies I have currently, and I won't reveal the exact number because I do have plenty of VOD videos currently scheduled to be posted that no one has seen yet, except my patrons in early access. But I have drafted this format probably 20 times, and I would have to say I've trophied at least 7 or 8, if I had to think so. So I think my trophy rate is quite good. Now, that being said, I've also had a couple of 0 and 3s, a couple 1 3s and 2 3s, but you know, we all do. Sometimes drafts just don't go your way. And but it's been a fun format. I mean, it's really tough for me to not enjoy a draft format. I mean, limited Magic is just one of the greatest things you could be doing, in my opinion. And if I have to choose between a bad limited format and basically anything else with my time, I'm probably going to choose the bad limited format. So I've been enjoying it a lot. Golden Toad, there's a lot going on. There is a ton of fixing in this format. I mean, you can play 5 colors easier than basically any format in my recent memory. There's Prophetic Prism in the set, there's Brave the Wilds in green, there's Root Rider Fawn in green, there's Utopia Sprawl in the Enchanting Tales, there's Crystal Grotto, there's Evolving Wilds, there's Edgewall in. All of these are 5 color fixers, and those are all just commons and uncommons that I mentioned. So if you are a 5 color kind of guy, then this set is also for you. Enjoying how the new cards have mixed up Standard a bit. I cannot speak to Standard. I have literal no idea what's going on, and literal not a care in the world, to be honest, either. But glad you're enjoying the mix-up in Standard. That's always fun if there is a mix-up. Hello there, No Eel. How's it going? We're going to jump into a quick draft here today. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, the Premier Draft queue is currently offline because they are experiencing technical difficulties. But as I said, a draft is a draft is a draft. And we're going to get into one here. All right, see what I mentioned already? No Eel, we've got a rare land, Restless Cottage, great land. All of these creature lands are outstanding. 4 mana becomes a 4/4, still a land, and then when it attacks, create a food and exile a card from a graveyard. You've also got Brave the Wilds, which can find any basic land. You've got Edgewall Inn, which can tap for any color when it comes in. I mean, all the fixing is already in this pack. But this is actually a tough pick for me. I love Troyan, and I love blue-green decks, as most people don't. I think it's underdrafted. Hopeful Vigil is good as well. The bots prioritize green in your experience. I have done 4 quick drafts in these last few days since Premier Draft has been out. And they seem to undervalue Boros, but I'm going to tell you, I cannot figure out Boros in this format. I've drafted it 2 or 3 times, and I have never gone better than like 3-3. So I'm not even sure I want to try to get into that here. This is a really tough pick, in my opinion. There's Restless Cottage. I do love green, though. Even if the bots prioritize green, I love green. Restless Cottage is just a pretty good first pick, to be honest. I'm pretty likely to end up in either black or green the way that I draft, and this card will fit just fine in either of them. Edgewall Inn is a super great first pick as well. You can draft around this as a first pick. Troyan is a great it's not a great first pick, but it's a great card in blue-green. Brave the Wilds is a good card here. Hopeful Vigil if you like white. I'm leaning towards Edgewall Inn, but I could understand how people would go different picks here. What would y'all do? This is actually a really interesting pack one, pick one. Where would you land if you were drafting at this seat right now? Take the rare land? You take Hopeful Vigil and go white aggro? Cottage. Yeah, it's like I said, it's very close. It's very close. You know what? These rare lands are so good. I think you might have even just convinced me with just saying Cottage seems solid. Even though you said you haven't drafted the format, I think you're right. I'm going to go for it. Tied for Vigil and the land for no eel. 3 quick drafts to compete for the challenge for your friends. Ended up in blue, all of them, because that's what's open every single time. Well, speaking of blue, I think this is a pretty easy Archive Dragon here. There's also Ratcatcher Trainee for the red aggro decks, which is totally viable. But boy, now do I wish I kind of would have taken Troyan in that first pick. But there's still plenty of time to do it. Look, even another instance of fixing Scarecrow Guide. Not one I like, but, you know, it exists. I do love me an Archive Dragon. If you can land an Archive Dragon on a stable board, you are good to go. Alright, lots of interesting stuff here. There's a Party Crasher, but I just don't... Like I said, I cannot figure out Boros, and I don't think I want to jump off of these 2 good cards to try to get into Boros, into a deck I can't figure out. There's also Hearth Elemental. Spreading Seas is interesting. I tried it yesterday, and every time I try to mana screw them, they just top deck their way out of it and draw that same land that I just made it into an island. There is Obira. We could just go straight blue-black, potentially. Obira is a reason to do that. It's not one of the best decks, but it is a good deck. And I think it has the highest upside out of any card in this pack. Hearth Elemental probably has a higher upside, but blue-red is not really a deck I want to get into too much. And if we go blue-black, we could still splash Restless Cottage, and then maybe even splash a couple green cards off of it, too. So I think I'm going to take Obira here. Ooh, 4th pick, Extraordinary Journey? Don't mind if I do. I love this card. XX blue. It exiles X target creatures. They can play, and the owners can play them for as long as they're exiled. But whenever 1 or more non-token creatures enter, if they enter from exile, I draw a card. Including my creatures, and it doesn't have to just be the ones that I exiled. This is quite good. There is a spell stutter here. Yes, bots hate blue. You know, justifiably so, because blue is by far and away the worst color in the set. But you get an Extraordinary Journey and an Archive Dragon, I don't know, I think that's a reason to get into blue. All right, lots of red and white as there continues to be in these bot drafts, but I just, again, I'm not going to do it. There's a Rowan's Grim Search, which I always like it on my black decks. Gadwick's first duel has underimpressed. It hasn't been great for me. I think I might take Tempest Heart here. We don't have to play Obira. And I really liked blue-green big stuff. Now I really wish I just would have taken the Troyan pack 1 pick 1. It's a deck that I think is underdrafted, and it's a deck that I feel like I know how to draft. Rowan's Grim Search is fine. I just don't really like Gadwick's first duel, so I think I'm going to land on the Tempest part here. I don't think Troy on Wheels, Randy. It would be great if it did. Because, see, now we can just take Brave the Wilds, and now we're starting to get into a 5-color blue-green deck, which is exactly where I want to be. We've had a Ratcatcher trainee in, like, every pack so far. You see how you can force, you know, Ginger Brute, Ratcatcher trainee, all these cards should not be going 6th, 7th, now 7th pick and things. So I'm going to take a Brave the Wilds. Oh, 7th pick Edgewall in. You love to see it. It's exactly where I want to be. We've got one adventure creature in Tempest Heart, but I love picking up Obira's Attendants and Balluna's Gatekeeper in this deck, which both have adventures that can be good as well. So I'm taking Edgewall in. Here's the Obira's Attendants. There's also a stopgap, though. I do like stopgap. We don't have the bargain fodder yet. It's not to say we won't end up with it. We're probably not looking to do the whole Obira thing. I think I'll take my first stopgap over my first Attendants here. I will end up with a copy of Attendants for this deck if I see it, more than likely. I just don't think I need to take it right here. And if Troy on Wheels, we are good to go. Yeah, I didn't think it would, but we did get another Brave the Wilds, which is great. Take a second, Brave the Wilds, and now we're blue-green, and we can just kind of splash anything we want to splash here. Because we've got 2 Brave the Wilds, a Cottage, and an Edgewall in. And that's where you want to be. This is probably the worst way to splash. Although I think it's probably better than Stormkilled Prowler. So I'm just going to take it, throw it right into the sideboard here. Quick Study. I've found that my blue-green decks don't need a Quick Study. If you end up with enough expensive adventure cards, you've got enough to do with your mana, and you don't need card draw. I'm not playing 2 guides, though, so I'm just going to cut the blue card, because who cares? Ooh, Spell Stutter on the wheel. Love it. Love it, love it. Alright. Now what can we end up with in pack 2? And the answer is a Mosswood Dread Knight. See, this is the kind of card you get rewarded for taking cards like Brave the Wilds, Restless Cottage, Edgewall Inn. You know, the Dread Knight is the reason why you'd take the cards like that. Yes, up the Beanstalk, I know. I would also love an Up the Beanstalk. There's also a Torch the Tower and a Prophetic Prism here, which I would love both copies of. I really want a Prophetic Prism in this deck. But Mosswood Dread Knight is absolutely where I want to be. Okay, now we have Greta, which makes a food, which is bargain fodder. We're not going to be super synergistic around food, but a 3-mana 3/3 make a food is just pretty good. There's a stopgap, which honestly might wheel based on how the bots value this card, as well as Rowan's Grim Search, but I think this is a pretty easy Greta for us. This is the exact kind of card we can splash pretty easily. So we're just going to go ahead and take this one here. Alright, I do like Archive Dragon. I usually have more than kind of one expensive card. I haven't seen a single Hamlet Glutton yet. I love Hamlet Glutton in these decks. I usually want 2, but I haven't seen one yet. Archive Dragon is great, but there is a Candy Grapple, and something this deck struggles with a lot, and the reason I think people lose with it a lot is because look at our curve already. It's not great. And Candy Grapple is a way to deal with those early creatures if you're able to kind of get the black mana early enough. And Archive Dragon is good, but kind of replaceable. We can get Stormkilled Vanguard, we can get Hamlet Glutton, we can get Obira's Attendants, Balluna's Gatekeeper. All these cards are totally fine to put at the top of the curve. And we already have 1 dragon. So I think I'm going to take the Grapple here. All right, a third Brave the Wilds. I think I might take it. I mean, again, usually these decks don't need card draw in Rowan's Grim Search. Werefox is just a whatever card in a deck like this. This card is much better in like green-white aggro or red-green beats, but not in this kind of deck that I'm drafting here. I think I could take Brave the Wilds. We could even run 15 lands in this deck now, and we got a Troyan anyway. Let's go. All right, now we need to find some of the big creatures. We really got to hope that Hamlet Gluttons and um, what's it called? Hamlet Glutton, Stormkeld Vanguards, Ovira's Attendants, Balluna's Gatekeepers. Those are the cards I'm looking for now. But Troyan is exactly what we want here. Oof. Alright, I think I need another Archive Dragon. I would love a Royal Treatment. I would play an Evolving Wilds, and I'd probably play a Curse of the Werefox. But having the expensive cards, and we're getting to a part in the pack where we're not going to see many more of these good expensive cards here. I think our fixing is already quite good with Brave the Wild. So I'm going to go ahead and take a second dragon. Territorial Witchstalker is honestly not a bad card in a deck like this because, again, you usually struggle for 2-drops. The best one in my mind for this deck is Root Rider Fawn, and we haven't seen one yet. We only have a Spellstutter and a Candy Grapple, and kind of a Dread Whispers, but that's not exactly a 2-drop. I don't mind Curse of the Werefox. It's just not it's not really necessary in a deck like this. I think Territorial Witchstalker is totally fine to put in a deck just like this. Ooh, pick 8 up the beanstalk. Pick 8 up the beanstalk. Now, interestingly, like I mentioned, we need to find the expensive cards. All the cards I've named so much so far, we haven't seen. We have 2 dragons, but I will take a Hamlet Glutton over most cards in pack 3. See? Stopgap Wield. Prophetic Prism did not. I really want a Prism as well. Really need a Prism. Really need a Hamlet Glutton. I don't think this is a Knight of the Sweet's Revenge deck. I don't think it's a Sprite or a Tutelage deck either, though. I'm just going to throw that in the sideboard. Alright, cross your fingers for a Hamlet Glutton. That's what we were hoping for here. We didn't get a Hamlet Glutton, but boy, did we get a good one in Horned Lockwhale. I have drafted basically this exact same deck. Not necessarily in Quick Draft. Randy says this is the deck you always end up running. It's a really good one. I mean, I've had so much success with this kind of deck. Lockwhale, boy, do I really, really want a Root Rider Fawn, but I can't take it over Horned Lockwhale. Crystal Grotto wielding would also be very, very good. But I'm not passing a Horned Lockwhale here. Here we go. I am going to take my first Hamlet Glutton over my first Vanguard. I think this card is slightly better as a first copy. So I'm going to take the Glutton here. And now we're basically set on the top end. All I need is Root Rider Fawns, Prophetic Prisms, you know, more cards like that. But we've got Hamlet Glutton for sure. Hatching Plans. This is exactly what I want. I love this deck. This might be my favorite deck in the format. Not this one specifically, but like this kind of, you know, Sultai splashing kind of thing. But Hatching Plans is perfect. With Johann Stopgap, this is... Stopgap becomes 2 mana, bounce a creature, draw 4 cards. That seems pretty darn good to me. Pretty easy Hatching Plans here. I don't think I'm playing 3 Archive Dragons, but the only reason I'm going to take it here is because I'm not playing anything else. Yeah, this is a spot where I would love to take Prophetic Prism, where I would love to take Crystal Grotto, where I would love to take Root Rider Fawn. I don't think I'm playing 3. I haven't found Prowler to be good in this archetype. I mean, maybe I'm more likely to play that than I am a 3rd dragon now that we have a Lockwhale, 2 dragons, and a Glutton here. I guess I'll take it, because I'm not really playing anything else here, but I'm not thrilled about it. Return from the Wilds is a good one. This gives us tons of bargain fodder, and this card alone guarantees a turn 4 Hamlet Glutton. You ramp, get the basic land, and you create either a 1/1 or a food. You sacrifice that to Hamlet Glutton on turn 4, and you got a turn 4 Glutton. So we're going to take Return from the Wilds here. A very unfortunate pack here. I'm not playing any of this. I don't even think I'm playing Misleading Motes. It's been pretty underwhelming for me. I don't think the Root Rider Fawn wheels pick 9, but I would give just about anything if it did. Ooh, Collector's Vault is a card I have not tried out yet. But there's a lot of buzz going about around this card. And I think it might be worth it in this deck. I think I'm going to try it. I'm not playing anything else. I don't need a 4th Brave the Wilds, I don't think. So let's take Collector's Vault. Abira's Attendance versus Evolving Wilds. I don't need Evolving Wilds with 3 Brave the Wilds. I mean, I would play it. Don't get me wrong, I would play it. But Obira's Attendance, usually what I like this card for is somewhere in the middle of the game, turn 3 or turn 4, I cast a Bargain to Stopgap and then just cast Desperate Parry to gain like 3 life from an attacking creature. And that's usually all you need to kind of stabilize to get to where you want to get to with this deck here. I think I need to take the Attendance. Root Rider Fawn, come on back. No. Skybeast Tracker is usually okay though. I don't think I'm playing a Motes or a Coral Smith. We didn't get any Fawns, which is usually when I play... Oh, I didn't even see the Gatekeeper earlier. This is... I love the copy of this card in every single one of these decks too. Because you get to bounce a creature early. You're on the draw, they play a 2-drop. You play Entry Denied, and they can't hit you. So I usually play at least one Gatekeeper. I'm not going to play a Sprite. I might play a Prowler. And I'm not playing any of these here. Alright, so we're missing a couple of pieces here. We didn't get any Prophetic Prisms, we didn't get any Root Rider Fawns, and those are always very important to me in this archetype. But let's see what else we got. So I'll throw these in here for now, but I'll consider cutting. I don't think we're playing anything else here, so... I think 3 Brave the Wilds is fine. We only have blue-green, and we're just splashing black for Greta and Candy Grapple. And that's it. The Beanstalk triggers off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures here, which is totally fine. We can very easily run 16 lands with this deck because we have 3 Brave the Wilds. We just have to make sure we have enough untapped green on turn 1. I think I'm just going to run 1 Swamp here. Still at 17, so we can look at this. This would be 16 here. This gives us 7 untapped green on turn 1. And 9 total green sources. We would very much like a green on turn 1 as much as possible for Brave the Wilds. Now we have 2 more cuts. I kind of like all of these. I kind of think of Balluna's Gatekeeper as a 2-drop and Obira's Attendance as a 2-drop as well. Skybeast Tracker is honestly fine in a deck like this because we have 6 cards that trigger making a food off of this. We don't have a ton of bargain fodder. We've got Hatching Plans. We've got Return from the Wilds. I think the Witchstalker's okay. I'll try out 1 Prowler. Maybe it can trade. I don't think I need 2. Obviously keeping in Troyon. Greta's great. Grapple's great. I think I need Stutter. What about Collector's Vault? I don't think we need a Collector's Vault in this deck. We're not really hurting for fixing. So we can cut the Vault, and then this would be the deck here. 16 lands, 3 Brave the Wilds, a Return from the Wilds, an Edgewall in, all as fixing for just a Greta and a Candy Grapple. You think 5 is just under break-even pay? Yeah, the payouts are pretty bad in Quick Draft. 5 is like you lose 100 gems, and 6 is you gain 100 gems. Um, and then 7 you gain like 250 gems total. So yeah, you have to go like 6 just to get your money back, but you know, 6 wins. Yeah, I think this is going to be totally fine. I kind of wish I was able to get, a cup like a cut in or even a torch the tower or, you know, Kellen's Light Blades. That's a card we never saw. That's usually pretty good in the 2-drop slot here. But I think it's going to work out just fine for us. I love drafting this deck in this format, and let's just hope we don't go up against Ginger Brute turn 1. Golden Toad, you only go up against those who also quick drafted. But like I mentioned earlier, there is no Premier Draft right now, so you can't even get matched up against those people because no one can draft Premier Draft at this exact moment. See, Brave the Wilds, just go find the black, and now any land is a fine draw. If they play a 1-drop, we could potentially just bounce it with Gatekeeper. If not, we'll do Troyon on 3. Ooh, or we'll just do Hatching Plans on 2. Set up a turn 5 Hamlet Glutton that draws 3 cards. Yeah, slightly worried about flooding. I'm not, only because we have so many adventures. You cast this early, at some point you just have an entire turn, just drop it 6 mana 6/5. You know, same thing with Obira's Attendants, same thing with Horned Lockwhale, all those cards. Just do that as well. So, blue-red. Could have Spell Stutter. Torch the Tower doesn't do anything. Alright, do I play around Spell Stutter here? I don't think I do. Getting down Troyon is so important. If they Spell Stutter it, we still have Greta next turn. Okay, it worked. Interestingly, Troyon can cast spells with X in their mana value, which means if we draw a land, next turn we can do Extraordinary Journey for X equals 2. Instead, now... It's really awkward. This can only ramp to cast Journey. Something I could do is risk drawing a land off of Dread Knight, and then if I draw a land off of Dread Knight, I could still cast Journey. I don't really want a blue-red deck to have a Mocking Sprite on the battlefield. I could also bounce it with Gatekeeper, but that's the only thing I could do, is just bounce the creature here. Oh, we don't have a... We didn't have a timeout. Sorry. Oh, I risked that and got it. Oh, geez, that was really close. I thought we had a timeout. Woof. Alright, we're good. Played it anyway. I draw a card. Thank you very much. And this is where the deck just wins. Because all I have to do now is go blue and blue, bounce that thing, and then we're just, I mean, we're doing everything we want to do here now. I don't even need to hold up Spell Stutter. They missed a land. See, this is why you don't flood with this deck. You just have cards waiting for you in the wings whenever you run out of action. Yeah, Randy, Extraordinary Journey is so good. Like, I have 2 cards that just enter the battlefield and draw me another card here. You can cut in that. That's totally fine. Don't even care. Restless Cottage, and I think I don't mind holding up Spell Stutter at this point. Let's just do this to draw a card. Yeah, now we just got nothing but gas here. Emberith Veteran, sure. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 for Gatekeeper. Draw a card. Play a land. Get in with Dread Knight. Just kill their creature, and they don't really have anything going on here. We still have a 6-drop, some quasi-life gain, another 5-drop. Got everything we want. The only board wipe I can think of in the format is white. That's fine, I guess. Usually this Vantress Transmuter is a card. Cursed Roll tokens really mess with this deck because you're just playing 6 mana 6/5s and 7 mana 6/6s, and Cursed Rolls make those a lot worse. But the deck is still outstanding. I mean, see, look how busted this is about to be. Anyone interested in drawing 4 cards for 2 mana while still bouncing their creature? Like, come on, how fair is that? I guess I could have bounced their roll token, but like, I think we're just playing with our food at this point. I don't think I need Edgewall in. Don't have any creatures in the graveyard currently. So let's do this. Go to attacks, get in, bluff Spell Stutter or Attendance here. I don't know how blue-green is the second least performing deck in this format. Like, every time I draft blue-green, it looks like this, and it's really good. See, these Cursed Roll tokens, they destroy this deck a little bit. I think we're still okay, but, you know. Do I even need to use this? No, not really. I'll just go ahead and play Archive Dragon. Yeah, why not? Let's draw more cards. Every time I play this deck, it's like I'm just playing with my food, literally, and it's just like, I don't know how I want to win, but I think I'm just going to. Alright, 4 more wins. 4 in a row, we get to Mythic. See if we can do it. See, look at this. Brave the Wilds on 1, Return from the Wilds on 3, Hamlet Glutton on 4. Yes, please. Turn 1 Gingerbrute. This is the deck that we struggle with this deck, unfortunately. So we're going to have to see how aggressive they are. I'm assuming they're red-black. Please no Minstrosity. Okay, no play. That's nice. So now we return from the wilds. This, and then make a human just to bluff a block on the Gingerbrute, or make them burn a mana here. It does make our Hamlet Glutton potentially slightly worse, but we do have Greta in the event that this doesn't work out. See if the 1/1 survives. Could have Rat out. Nope, okay. And if you resolve a turn 4 Hamlet Glutton against these aggro decks, usually you just win. So let's just do that. We have Extraordinary Journey for 2 next turn, if we want it. That's a good one. Gotta admit, that is a great one. That's a tough one for me to deal with. But I will be pressuring their life total with the Hamlet Glutton here. Now, do I get rid of a rat forever, or do I just make them recast something like Voracious Vermin? I think I'm going to make them recast the Vermin. I know they get a rat, but, like, currently, this Glutton wins a race. And they're potentially either mana screwed or just mono black here. I think they replay Lord Skitter. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll draw a card, thank you. We've got Hatching Plans and Brave the Wilds here. So let's do Hatching Plans. Bargain targeting an island. Sacrificing Hatching Plans. Then we can Greta attack with both. We could Candy Grapple. Doesn't it feel so good? At least all those cards just fly into your hand. Just feels wonderful. I think I can Greta here. I'm fine trading a land for Skitter King at this point. I mean, I can use Candy Grapple, but, like, what if I attack for 9, they go to 5, I play Greta, I have a 6/6, a 3/3, a 3/3, another 3/3 next turn, and a removal spell? Like, I can't see them dealing 17 to me. So they're at 5. We play another 3/3, we get a food, we could eat it if we need to. They're mana screwed. There we go. Cruising along. Beat the turn 1 Ginger Brute. Also, you've noticed, I'm playing 16 lands in this deck, right? And I don't think we've missed a land drop. Which is great. Brave the Wilds, outstanding card. Just look at the power of Brave the Wilds. I mean, it makes basically every hand a keepable, and we've got 3, and we've had one every single time. I think I'm willing to get a black here, because on 3 I'm going to cast Return the Wilds and find another blue more than likely. So I'll just get the black. Alright, turn 1 Ginger Brute once again. Here we go. let's play tap land. Red, white. Alright, here is the test. 2 ginger brutes. Okay. This is a moment where I would be willing to trade a 1/1 for a ginger brute. Okay. Make sure you don't activate the same one twice. Alright, pay 2 mana, activate ginger brute. Sure. Suppose I can deal with that. Yeah, the Archon trick for sure, but... now we can just start getting some foods here. Yeah, they do still have priority, but it could still just be this activation. They could be bluffing the trick, but... currently the trick doesn't really do much. This tracker is going to start getting us some food here, if it survives. Sure. We still get the food from that, and then they just activate it again. Okay. They're paying a lot of mana to hit us with these ginger brutes. Let's get a food here. Scry 2. We will either have to outrace these or deal with them. They will be an issue in the long term. Especially if they can get a roll or 2 on them, you know? Okay, now we don't get food anymore. Do they just activate it twice again? Looks like they do. This 1/1 has cost them like 6 mana. Alright, let's get in here. I'm gonna hold up Attendance and Spell Stutter here, and eating the food. I can cast all of that, technically. Sure. Okay. They have plans for their mana now. I'm willing to just, you know, basically use this to gain a life. Again, we win this late game. It's pretty good against Spell Stutter here. Sure. Ooh, that's quite good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What if I activate this? This costs 5 mana. I could still hold up Lock Whale here. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Animate. I get to make a food. I get to... Yeah, they just paid for Gingerbrute, like, every turn, which can't be correct, right? So now I've got Lock Whale if they try to go for some crazy combat trick. I've got Stutter if they have some bomb they play. We've still got a 4/6 flyer here. We've got a food if we need it. Okay, sure. I'm going to block their other one here with my 1/1. And then, I guess, just go ahead and do this. We can tap out a Stutter for a moment, probably. If we draw a land, we can do Archive Dragon, hold up Stutter. If we don't draw a land, we can do Attendance, hold up Stutter. We do currently have them on a 2-turn clock as it stands. I think they still have... Oh, yeah. If you're using Kellan's Lightblades to kill my 1/1, that is fine by me. See, drew the land, so all we have to do now is Dragon, Stutter, dead next turn. Yeah, that was not the greatest use of removal. I guess they just really wanted to keep their Gingerbrute alive, like desperately. I don't know. Okay. These Gingerbrutes have eaten like 12 of their mana over the course of this game. There's the glory. They have double strike. That's still fine. Wonder if they have double strike here. Even if they do, we still win. Yeah, that's what I thought they had. They were trying to cheese out a win with double glory and double strike, which is that is a legitimate way to try to win a game there. You know, that we could have almost died had I not been too wary of my life total throughout that. So yeah. Got to play around that. When they got those Gingerbrutes, they can be brutal. So we've now, what are we now? 3-0? 4-0? Currently 3-0, and 2 of those wins were against turn 1 Gingerbrutes. I mean, pretty good. Now we've got our work cut out for us against the 142nd ranked player in the world here. This is a tough one. It's a keep, but I don't know how to sequence this. As far as our tap land, I think I'll play 1/1. Can save the other one because we could bargain away hatching plans. Alright, another red-white deck. Ooh, Witch's Mark for no value? Sure. I think I'll get a creature down here. Yeah, they're sleeves. It's like the old kind of using like the cards back from the 90s, what they all look like if you played back in the 90s and stuff. Okay, go to combat. They've got no plays. They've got Kellan's Lightblades. That's fine. So now I can Hatching Plans and Brave the Wilds, but the tough thing is I don't really... Does it say up to 1? Target land you control becomes. So I don't really want to be sacrificing Hatching Plans necessarily at this point in the game to Brave the Wilds. So I can do Edgewall in on blue, play the Hatching Plans, and then probably going to be bargaining this later once I resolve some of my creatures here. Yeah, see, if we stopgapped here, we have to discard a card at the end of the turn, which is not great. So I think I'm just going to Tracker. Stopgap is a good draw, though. That is also... Cut-in, that's why Cut-in's so good in these aggro decks. Alright, now at this point, I think we can afford to... Gotta get rid of this 2/2. I don't have to, but I would like to. There are some cards. Guess I can hold up Horned Lockwhale here. I don't really have any bargain fodder for any of this. So just casting this, I don't think I want to cast it right now, though. So I'll just Lockwhale their Edgewall pack. Oh, that card is so good. Oh, that card is ridiculously good. That's going to be tough to beat. I don't know about Tempest Heart, but the Attendance represents potentially 4 life here, so I think that is important. Well, the grapple at this point, I mean, it's almost out of reach already. We don't have any bargain fodder currently. That's a shame. I mean, our deck is... We've got some good rares. I guess Horned Lockwhale's a good rare too. I think Redcap Gutter Dweller might be among the top 5 cards in the set entirely. Like, it's that good. So, sure, get in here and then give it Double Strike or something. That's exactly what they're doing. Now I think we're pretty close to dead. Boy, it would have been great if I had the Attendance last turn. So we have to have 6 mana. So I play Restless Cottage, I play the Trampling Dread Knight, and I hold up Obira's Attendance here. Conversely, I just play Island, Attendance, and Dread Knight. Island Hardcast Glutton? Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad either. Does give us a little bit of life gain. This thing's gonna be a 5/5 menace now. They have like cooped up. I think we're basically dead. We've got so much menace on their side. It's a shame. If they had not drawn Redcap Gutter Dweller, I think we win this game very easily. But here's the thing. They drew Redcap Gutter Dweller. Okay. And then just Two-Headed Hunter. Huh. So they have Torch the Tower here. Am I willing to trade a Glutton for Edgewall Pack and Torch the Tower? I think I have to be. I can't just continue to take all this damage. I've got another 6/6 and a 3/4 flyer and a 3/2 coming. So I think I have to be okay with trading the Glutton for a Torch the Tower here. There's the Torch the Tower. Did get rid of one of their rats too, so at least there's that. They also can't cast Two-Headed Hunter this turn. Celebrant returning Spear Guard. Yeah, yeah. This is like not great on this board is the issue. It's a good card, it's just not great here. Because, like, if I can't Extraordinary Journey their Gutter Dweller. Because they just bring it back with 2 more rats and more card draw here. What if I Journey for 6? Getting rid of these 2 things. I'm not thrilled with it. I have to take 5 from the Gutter Dweller? I don't know, man. I just don't know. Ran out of time, too. This is a 6/6 now. They have Firebolt, which can deal 6? Oh, that's brutal. They hit a Firebolt? Now I have to take 6 automatically, no matter what, because this thing has Menace. I almost don't want them... Extraordinary Journey for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 playing Dread Knight, I guess? Then they can't sacrifice a creature. We're not dead to removal. Or we are dead to removal in that case. Yeah, I could activate the land to block here. I think I'm actually just gonna... use Attendance to gain, you know, basically 2 life. I'm gonna go to 2 here. Hey there, Historian, thanks. You're doing my job for me. Playing a really tough game here against just Red-Capped Gutter Dweller. That's the only card. If it weren't for that, we would have won this a long time ago. Menace. Now they have 2 Menace creatures. We're drawing literal nothing but lands here. Oh my god. Come on. Now I think we die. Because we just drew all of the lands. Yeah, getting the whale back. I have to attack with this. I can't do all of this stuff, so getting the whale back requires 4 mana basically, which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left over, which means I can do Dread Knight and the whale's adventure here, which still doesn't save us is the thing, because we get rid of one of these, we double block, we take 2. I haven't done the math here. I'm just running out of time. I have to attack with this. Yeah, no matter how we do it, this has Menace and this has Menace. Alright, well, I mean, I guess no shame to losing to a Red-Capped Gutter Dweller. That's tough. Really shouldn't have lost that game. It was just the one card. You know, sometimes you lose to big bomb rares. Really tough game. You know, good player. You know, they have 142 in Mythic. Yeah, it's an incredible card. Not a card I've had to been able to put in my deck yet, but I still think the deck is good. Let's see if we can get a couple more wins here. Oof, this is one of the worst hands we've had. We do have a Stutter on 2, potentially Journey on 4, also Abira's Attendance to quote-unquote gain some life early. Let's see if they start with the Ginger Brute like all of our opponents has. Yes, Gutter can can carry the unlikeliest of friends to a trophy. Not saying you're unlikely. I don't know what your win rate is or anything like that, but it basically single-handedly won them that game there. Ooh, hello. I think I have to get a blue. I'll get black later. Blue guarantees we can cast our spells. Okay, gonna not play Cottage so I can play Stutter here. I don't care about that. We can beat the long game. They know we have Stutter now, but that's okay. I think. Is this an instant? Yeah, it is an instant. No, well, they know we have it, so they could play around it. So I could just play Tempest Heart here. They are playing around it. So it is worse now that they know we have it. They also have priority, which means they could have Candy Grapple or something of the sort. But even if they are able to land something, or they could have taken by Nightmares, I guess. If they're able to land something, we can kind of bounce it with Extraordinary Journey. No plays still. Alright, well, I guess I'll just get in here then. Now I can play, well, if I was going to play Attendance, I should have done it pre-combat, but that is in the past. If I play Attendance, I still just play Attendance. I'm not doing Journey. I guess the question is, do I play Attendance, Tracker, or Stutter here? They're not doing anything, so... Now, hear me out. There's a chance this could have been the quote-unquote correct play. I think they have Taken by Nightmares in hand. That's what I'm putting them on. And had I casted the Attendance pre-combat, I think they Taken by Nightmares their Tempest Heart, and we don't get 3 points in. I'm just justifying my punt, but, you know. Alright, Beanstalk Worm, I think I'm okay with that. Does it have reach? It does have reach. Boom! Never didn't have it. Now I can journey their worm here, and I think that that opens up 7 points of attacks for us. If they choose to play it again, we draw an extra card. We draw a card off our own Dread Knight now. We've got a 6-drop, a bounce spell, a 6-drop, a counter spell, a 4-drop, makes food. There we go. This is where we want to be. Werefox, okay. Chose not to play Beanstalk Worm. They could play the Adventure of Beanstalk Worm, I think. If they want another land. Ooh, do they have Curse of the Werefox? Ooh, Stormkeld Vanguard. Interesting. That's a good one. Holding up, what's that one spell? The plus... Royal Treatment. So they have Royal Treatment, so we're going to have to keep that in mind here. The question is, what happens if I just play an Archive Dragon? And I think the answer is, they probably lose. So let's do this, get a counter on Tempest Heart. We know they have Royal Treatment, but that's okay, because they still can't make good blocks right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure, I don't see why I wouldn't want a Hamlet Glutton. Oh, it could be Leaping Ambush, you're right. +1, +3, so that would make it a 5, 6. And it has reach. You know, it could be that, but I can't not attack. So if they kill the Tempest Heart with Leaping Ambush, let's see. We still have 2 flyers here. I would imagine they'd kill the Tempest Heart, because if they kill this, they go to 5. So I think I still have to do it this way. I've got a Hasty Restless... You're right, it is Leaping Ambush. But I still got a Hasty Restless Cottage. I mean, look, they go to 5 now. We've got a 4-powered flyer. Oh, that has a reach. Forgot about that. That's okay. Still doesn't block well. Again, they know we have Spell Stutter here, so that's why I haven't been holding it up. But now is the time to do that. So let's do... Yeah, good call, Andy. Randy, sorry. Let's do this. Let's see what they got. Sure, I'll trade for your Reach Boy. Titanic Growth. What happens if we stutter that? Probably good things for us. Sure, it's still fine. Go to damage. And play Tracker, I suppose. And now they're dead on board. That's fine. Just don't hope they don't find a Curse of the Werefox here. They can't even curse the dragon because it has Ward 2, so... That should do it. These don't have a reach, do they? No. Alright. Got that win with... The deck is now cruising along just like it did. When you don't play against Redcap Gutter Dweller, you know, good things happen. I do think, even if we lose this next game, if we win the last 3, we do officially reach Mythic. So a trophy in this draft guarantees Mythic for us. So let's get it done here. Reading my mind, Randy. Look at the power of Brave the Wilds. Let's do it. I mean, the hand isn't great because we have 2 very, very expensive things, but yeah. Oh, they are honest? Awesome. Well, I did this one too soon, so let's just get to Mythic with this one, and then we'll go from there. Oof. As much as I would love to get a black for Candy Grapple, I think we have to make sure we get a blue. We have many, many more blue cards in this deck. You can see just all the blue here. Gotta make sure we end up with a, an island. So now next turn we can Brave and get a black and cast Candy Grapple if they play an X3. Which they did, and it's a very important one that I have to make sure I kill. And now we're kind of at the mercy of the top of our deck here. We have all the mana we need to get to 6, but if we don't do anything for the next 3 turns, we could be in trouble. Vampiric Rites sacrifice their rat, probably, because they're missing land drops and colors here, so that's what I'm assuming they're going to do. See if they miss another one. Nope, found their other color. Good for them. How forcible was the quick draft? Heard bots are especially bad drafters. I've done 5 quick drafts. I ended up in Boros in 2 of them, and then like this big Sultai big spells in the other 3, I think. It's kind of forcible, but yeah, Boros is definitely forcible if you like that deck. Oh, that was a pretty bad draw. That was about the worst draw we could have drawn that isn't a land. Do I care about just getting another one here for Hamlet Glutton, or do I save it? You know, hitting land drops is always just great. Thin the deck, yeah, do what you're gonna do. Hopefully we draw something we can cast. See what their turn 5 play is. At least they don't have the mana for another Gutter Dweller here. Yeah, that does hold back our board, but that's fine. Draw 2, discard 2, or just play a 3-4. I think I'll just play the 3-4 here. And then next turn we play Dragon, next turn we play Glutton, and then we should be good to go from there. This will become a 4-3. Oof. Alright, Scream Puff has a Death Touch. I recorded a draft the other day where I attacked into this, and then I tried to blow them out with removal, and then my creature died, and I was like, why did my creature die? The answer is because Scream Puff has Death Touch. Ooh, I like both of these a lot. Evolving Wilds found a red. Alright, now they've got Gutter Dweller mana. Cross your fingers. I'm gonna cry if they play one here. Okay, Feed the Cauldron. I'm fine with that. Impact Tremors. I'm probably okay with that too. Scream Puff is going on a journey. Yeah, you are probably right. And I think that journey is gonna occur right now. They don't have the mana to sack their creatures here, so we also get in for 8 damage, 9 damage now. This card is so good. They go to 8. Next turn we play a Glutton probably, and then this goes to 6 with Trample. They go to 4. This got Trample. I know. 5th pick Journey. Thank you, bots. That was 4th pick. To the bots' credit, it was 4th pick. I do remember that now. If you go up and chat here, let me see. 4th pick Journey. That's what we said earlier. All right. We'll give them credit. Trying to figure out a way to survive here. I think their best bet is probably just going to play Scream Puff and trade with Tempest Heart, but then they're dead next turn, so that may not work for them. Is this one you gain a life and draw, or you lose a life and draw? You gain a life, okay. Yeah, disconnected or just roping us. Because they're tilting off of Restless or Journey or whatever. Who knows? So I think that's going to put us at 5-1 now. So we have to go 2-1 here to finish it out to get the trophy and the mythic rank. I like our odds. I hope they're not just just roping, but in fact did DC. All right, 5-1, 2 wins away. In fact, if we win the next one, we do find Mythic immediately. So let's just get it here, and then we don't have anything to worry about. People are probably leaving the quick draft queue to get back into the premier draft queue here. It might start taking a little bit longer. Alright, Gremmy, you are the final boss. Does our hand cooperate? Yes, it does. Take this, and now, do I get a green or do I get a blue with the Brave the Wilds? I think I'm gonna get a blue. We have so much time to find the second green for Glutton here. We have Extraordinary Journey we could want to cast on turn 2, or on turn 4, I mean. Speaking of. Blue-black Minstrosity. Well, we do get to trade for... Oh, what a draw. What a draw. Return, and in the event of wanting to still have bargain fodder here, I will create the food. That gives us a turn 4 Glutton here. Hold this back to trade. Minstrosity is always the card I worry about the most when I play this deck, because a 3-1 hits hard, and if you don't like play cards early, you're gonna get beat. Single blue. What do they have? Nothing. Okay. Sleight of hand? I don't know. Whatever it is, Hammy Boy is coming on down. Turn 4 Glutton on the play. Don't mind if I do. Any land lets us cast Journey for 2 or Dragon. And if we miss a land, we can just bounce something. Ooh, now we have to stopgap. We could Journey. on the Barrow Naughty. See what we draw. Yeah, now I think we just got a stopgap here. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Curiosity has actually been pretty good in these blue-black flying fairies decks. I mean, usually they landed on a 1/1 and it's like, draws like 3 cards over the course of the game. Mocking Sprite. Missed land drop, sure. Whew. How dirty do you want me to be here? Do I just play a dragon, or do I play Hatching Plans, Bargain, Stopgap, draw 4 cards? It's just rude. This deck does rude things. This deck is just mean. Oh, up the beanstalk. I don't think we've drawn that card yet this game. Look at that value. All right. Anybody guesses on what rank Mythic we end up in? I think we're going to get a number here. All right. I think we got to go look at our account and see what rank we end up in. We need guesses. For reference, I've trophied probably 40% of the drafts I've played in WoW. My guess is going to be... Oh, well, there you go. Just said it. 931. Thought I had to go to my profile. 931. No more guesses. You all got it right. You all said 931. Perfect. All right. Let's get this trophy, too. Got to finish it off on a high note. Thanks, No Eel. It was a matter of time with this format. I have been wildly successful. Pun intended. Thanks, Historian. This is now the 4th time I've reached Mythic in Limited. 4th or 5th time? I don't do it every set or every month. Some months I play more than others, but this is now the 4th or 5th or so. But this deck is a busted way to get us up into Mythic. I think this deck should have 7-0'd if not for playing against one of the best Mythics in the entire set in Gutter Dweller there. But let's try to get the 7-1. John Wet Spaghetti. That is disturbing. I have played against Gruff Triplets in one game, and interestingly enough, I did beat it. I have never played with it, though. My opponent kind of misplayed. They played Gruff Triplets, and then they chump attacked 2 of them into my creatures to get a 12-12, and then I killed their 12-12. So, but yeah, it is a stupid card. At least I think I beat it. I'm not sure. All I know is they didn't play an ideal version of Gruff Triplets. Jose, tier list of draft archetypes in this set. 1 second, let me make this play here. Brave the Wild's getting a blue. Yeah, good question. It's very balanced. Like, there are people, I think black-red is very high. Black-red might be among the best. There are a lot of people who have success with red-white. I'm not one of those people. Blue-green is one of the lowest winning draft archetypes in the entire set. However, I've had tons of success with blue-green. I think I've had 4 or 5 blue-green trophies. So, I like blue-green. Blue-black fairies can be very potent. White-black enchantments is a little underwhelming. Blue-red spells is a little underwhelming. Blue-white is unplayable. And green-white I've also had some success with. Middling success. I've done good and bad with green-white. Traded off 2 last 6/6 triplets and the Not Dead Yet had 3 triplets come in and I'll get +12/+12. That card is so dumb. Alright, think... There's so many things I can do here. I can just cast a Gatekeeper. I can bounce their creature, which isn't the most mana efficient thing to do. But, I mean... sets them back quite a bit here. I could loot with Troyan, or do I care about getting in for 1? I think I'd rather loot. So I'm just going to leave her up. Or him up. Him, I guess? I don't know. Them? Not sure. Dream Spoilers. Draw a card, discard a forest. I don't think we've drawn a Witch Stalker all game. Or all draft, I mean. I can cast Stopgap on their spoilers, which is pretty annoying for them. I should probably just be playing big fat creatures here and just getting in, but I don't know, I like tempo. While they're tapped out in a blue-green or a black-blue deck, just playing 6/5 into 6/6, like that should be impossible to deal with. I think that's what I should have done, looking back on it here. Mocking Sprite into... Alright, Witch Stalker, you're probably hitting the graveyard here. You're not doing much. Playing against flyers. Yeah, I still think it's Witch Stalker that goes. Yeah, they might have Spell Stutter here, which again would be bad, but let's see what it is. Yeah, looks like it is that. We do get to hold up Lock Whale if they attack with Sprite. Did get the Spell Stutter out of their hand. Now I regret what I did, obviously. That was not great. Resolving this against blue-black is what you need to be doing. And it is not what I did. Alright, do they have another one? That would be very unfortunate if they had another one. They could also kill their own Mocking Sprite here to fizzle the Lock Whale. Nope, okay, that worked. Dream Spoilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 plus 6 is 10. I would like to just cast this while they're tapped out. I'd like to also hold up a blue. And then loot with Troy on here. Another sprite. Oh no, that was the one they drew. Whew. Ginger Brute, here we go. Get the beats on. I think we can get rid of a land. Alright, let's hit with Lockwhale. I guess we could have bargained. Alright, good luck in the queue. I'm going to be finishing up after this one here. But go ahead and draft Sultai, because it's busted. Thanks for hanging, Randy. Let's do this, and... return. I think I can get the 1/1 in the food. And because 1/1 is so bad against Dream Spoilers, I think I'm going to do this. I know it comes in tapped, and I probably should have done this pre-combat, but yeah, it's fine. We have plenty of great draws in the deck. That is for sure. 2 lands in the yard. So 6 total lands left in our last 19 cards here. Locking down our Lock Whale. Sure, and then just play Dread Knight, I guess. And there we go. There's plenty of good draws they can have. This game isn't over yet. That's a decent one. Sets them up for the future here. Discard 2 lands. Sure, that gives us another thing to loot away, I guess. Ugh, more of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Animate. Go to combat. Get in. Exiling. Doesn't really matter. Can trade with the Dread Knight. Probably should trade with the Dread Knight. Okay. Now we can cast this as the Adventure till our next turn. The end of our next turn. Let's just play Hatching Plans. Hold on to the land here. Giant, and what else? A 5-drop? Just to put stun counters on things. Nope, stab wound on tracker. Okay. We're moving our stuff here. And the likeness looter. Okay, I'm not sure we have any lands left in our entire deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 2. Just 2 lands left. Now 1. One land and 11 cards now. Gonna have to watch our deck a little bit here. Gonna have to make sure we kill them, because now this Gatekeeper's gonna tap down the attendants. Conceited Witch? Yeah, I mean they're turning the corner here, that is for sure. We have a Gatekeeper that we can get back with Edgewall in. A close game. I think we're still probably winning, but it's a close game. What can they make their looter into? A Ginger Brute, I guess? Right up the beanstalk. I'm not sure you're exactly what we want. We don't really need more card draw here. I guess I should have played Prowler first if that's something I was going to do. Yeah, I definitely should have played Prowler first there. That was a bit of a mistake. But hold off on hatching any plans. Yeah, we don't even have the bargain at the moment. Yeah, a bit of a mistake there. We should have 2 extra counters on the Prowler, but I think we'll be okay. We'll just eat a food here. At this point, we only have 1 land left in our entire deck, so the Tempest Heart Adventure doesn't need to get us out of Mana Screw. Basically, everything we draw from here on out is going to be gas. So that's the only reason I played the land, because we're just going to need mana. So we Still have Candy Grapple in here somewhere? Yeah, Candy Grapple's still in the deck. Alright, that's another way that they can start pushing some damage. They are drawing their way out of this. I gotta give it to them. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Sack this, bring back Gatekeeper. We can bounce. Does it matter what we bounce here? I don't really want to bounce the Sprite. I don't really want to bounce the Witch. So I guess we'll bounce the Looter. Get in here. Looks like they're just trying to preserve their life total. Nope, okay. Trying to win via stab wound, killing us with Skybeast Tracker. We're technically at like 21 life right now because of all these things. And kind of 24 life because of Gatekeeper coming in. Yeah, see, now we've got everything. Give me all of the triggers. As long as they have this Gatekeeper, we don't have great attacks with Cottage here, but what can they turn the Looter into? Again, just a Mocking Sprite or a Ginger Brute? That's fine. They can turn it into a Ginger Brute and then eat their thing. Oh, do they have a Lock Whale? What do they have? Tendons. Okay, that just gains some life. Sure. You're still at 6. Then end the turn. We don't really need to draw cards off of Greta. Just eating the food is probably better. It's a long game here. Sure. Just trying to cycle that to draw a card. Tendons. Put a stun counter on something. Alright, alright. See what you're doing. What did they tap down? Gatekeeper? Okay. Okay. Definitely a... Oh. Has there ever been a more nasty, extraordinary journey? So what do we cast this for? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we cast this for 5. Wait. X equals... How much are we at? So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh no, so we guess this for X equals 4. Because that's 10 mana. Okay. Watch them have counterspell here. Even if they do, it probably doesn't matter, but that's ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. What a draw. I forgot that was still in the deck. What a deck this was. The only game we lost was to Redcap Gutter Dweller in there. And it went 7-1 with yet another trophy here in Wilds of Eldraine. Gotta love it. Thanks y'all for hanging out today. That was a good one. We were out of the quick draft queues as long as their premier queues are figuring it out on what they're doing and not glitching any more than they already have. So got some stuff I gotta head out and do. So would love to get another draft in, but go ahead and check out the channel for more VOD content coming. There's some good ones and some bad ones coming, but you know, we are here in Mythic. We've got our actual on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern is going to be our last live stream of Wilds of Eldraine. I'm basically moving, kind of, sort of, and I won't get into details, but got to move everything and get out of here, and I've got to get the live stream cut off for about a month there. So once we get back, join us for the live stream on Monday, and then we've got early access of Caverns of Ixalan in October or November. So thanks for hanging. I'll see y'all later.